Oh!
The Christmas pig? Oh, it's a Christmas pig.
What are we doing? First of all, it's Christmas Day 2017. Holy crap. Boy, did this year fly by, right? And seriously, for me, this year passing by so quickly because so much happened, some negative, some positive. There was just so many things that changed this year for me in my life that literally time flew like crazy. And I don't know about you guys, but man, what a tumultuous year. And, you know, how different the future is going to be for a lot of reasons, okay? Got the lozenge going here, and I will probably need more during the course of today's stream. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk. 2017, good Lord, what a year this year was, right? In my wildest dreams, did I predict the crazy amount of ups and downs that would happen to me in 2017? Absolutely not. It was just out of control. It was like giant sweeping change, giant sweeping things that hit me out of left field that I didn't expect. I would actually say this. There were 2 years in my life where things really went crazy. 2010, and that was the year, if you guys remember, that I had an office job. I had been working at this office job for about 5 years. I had gotten commendations at this job, being told I was doing everything right. I had this big certificate that was awarded to me for going above and beyond at this job. I was getting raises and bonuses and everything when I was working at this job. And all of a sudden in October of 2010, they laid me off out of nowhere. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. And then I would say probably the other crazy year was this year because of all the shit that happened, which I'm about to go through. I'm actually going to go through all of 2017 and just recap the stuff that happened in my life, because what a year, well, ups and downs, man. A year of ups and downs for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, according to my Muxie, I just received a $1,000 tip from Santa Claus. Wow.
Every year, typically, at the end of the year, between the months of September to December, all right, on YouTube, I used to see a giant increase in viewership. I used to always get this big boost because I was playing popular games, all right, the big AAA releases, and ad revenue typically would go up at the end of the year because everyone was advertising for Christmas. So I would always see this big spike. And keep in mind, before 2017, the vast majority of my income every month came from YouTube. That was my focus. Streaming, I made like nothing doing it. It was fan service for me. So for me, the live streams were just kind of, messing around. And, to share stuff live with you, but it wasn't like a focus of mine at all. It was always YouTube, YouTube, YouTube. The end of 2016, I saw no increase in viewership and no increase in revenue. So I was counting on this big spike to help me pay my bills and, for taxes that were coming due and everything at the end of 2016. And it didn't happen.
And by the way, I am going to be checking my phone during this stream because I said if people do pledge to my Patreon, I'm going to give them a shout out. So I have to check this phone. It's going to give me a live feed of if people pledge to my Patreon. That's why I'll be checking my phone from time to time during today's stream, okay?
Then February came. And I'll be honest, folks, this is something I've never talked about. All right? Behind the scenes, just so you guys know, my relationship with my ex-girlfriend was not good, all right? We're at a point in our relationship, and I'm not going to get too private because it's a very private situation. Let's just say this way. Over the years that we had been together, things had changed dramatically in our lives. Things had changed dramatically with the quality of life, relationships with our family, put it that way. Honestly, a lot of the stuff that had happened to me that negatively affected my ex-girlfriend put a big strain on her, all right? In particular, the swatting incidents that happened in 2015, I know were a big game changer because we went from basically two people who were like, man, we're just having fun and we're young and we can do whatever, do fun stuff out here now that we live together in Washington. And it basically became, man, now we're two people who basically people hate us, I'm just trying to be on the internet having fun playing games every day. And we got people sending police to our house with guns drawn. And then they swatted my ex-girlfriend's father, okay, who had nothing whatsoever to do with any of our shit. And then there were threats to swat her brother-in-law or her half-brother's wedding. And when that happened, it was like so messed up, all right? And honestly, you know, things were never the same. You know, when that kind of stuff happens and you have that tenseness, it screws up stuff, personal stuff in in life and in a relationship. And it was just so, because, you know, how are you ever going to have a safe life? How are you ever going to have a secure life? You know, you never know what's going to happen. What's the next financial crisis that's going to happen that's going to screw everything over? What's the next situation where your life might be threatened, right? And I can tell you right now, it was all those things that happened over the years that kind of soured everything behind the scenes. And in early 2017, all right, it was almost like we were living together, but we weren't a couple. It was more like we were living together as roommates, all right? And I know that sounds really fucked up, but that's really what, you know, we were in a relationship for 5 years. We moved out here, and at first it was great, but over the years, this stuff degraded. As the trolling got worse and the things concretely got worse for us financially and trolling with swatting and everything bad, that's really when things started to fall apart, okay?
All of a sudden in February of 2017, all right, my ad revenue on YouTube, no exaggeration, goes down by 50%. So already I thought, oh, I was supposed to be making more at the end of 2016, and it didn't happen. And then all of a sudden in February, I make half as much money as usual. Now, it would have been one thing if I diversified and I was making money on Twitch. I wasn't, okay? It was all YouTube revenue was paying my bills. Making half money in 1 month, what am I supposed to do? And I was in panic mode because I was like, this is it. I basically can pay my bills for 1 month, and if I don't make more money somehow in the next month, I can't even pay my bills anymore.
So here it is. February 2017, all of a sudden my ad revenue on YouTube halves. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay my bills anymore. I contact Machinima, and Machinima is literally, I'm not even exaggerating, literally treating me like dirt. Like,
whatever, we'll look into it, but stop bothering us.
that's kind of the response I got from them. That was kind of like, we understand this is important to you, but just stop bothering us. We'll get back to you when we feel like it.
And I'm like, what?
This is my livelihood. I could lose my house. I could lose everything. I could go into financial ruin because all of a sudden my YouTube revenue just dropped by 50%. And Machinima was kind of like, meh, who cares? And like, that's not the attitude to have when you have people who, especially me, I've worked with them for over 6 years, right? Being a dedicated partner for them, sticking up for them. When people told me year after year after year to leave them because they weren't reliable and because of the things happening behind the scenes that they were doing that were underhanded and bad. And I ignored all that. And the next day, I literally got an insulting email from Machinima saying,
You know, you're already in contact with us on this issue. Don't go around us and try to write other people in other departments. We're already taking care of this for you. How dare you?
And I was like, who are you to speak to me like that? You're basically disrespecting me because I might lose everything financially. You're not giving me answers. And then when I go to someone who's helped me in the past, you basically treat me like a small child and tell me not to try to seek out help. And that's what I told him. I said, I don't want to work with you anymore. Like, seriously, if this is how I'm going to be treated, I don't want to work with you anymore.
So, seriously, it's just, you know, it's ridiculous because in the year of 2016, you guys pounded me. And I don't mean in the butt. You guys literally saved my ass this year in more ways than one, which we'll talk about as we continue in this segment, all right?
Basically, yeah, right. If you're not a negative person seeking out to be negative and to be nasty towards someone, you wouldn't trust the misinformation about me all over the internet. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of the stuff that's been negative said about me on the internet over the years, if you do, no lie, 5 minutes of research, you can actually find out. Phil stole money from his patrons because he never made Project 7. That's 100% a lie. If you do 5 minutes of research, you'll get the truth and see how completely different the truth is, but they don't want to do that. They want to believe the negative and the nasty.
If you're that kind of person that you spend your life wanting to believe the negative and the nasty about people, you have something inside that's disconnected from how you should be as a person. And you really got to seek out some kind of positivity in your life, because if you're just negative all the time, believing the worst about everyone, that's going to be a really bad life you're going to have, you know? I'm not that kind of person. I'm not. Maybe at one point in my life I was, but I'm certainly not like that anymore, all right? While playing Breath of the Wild, people were saying some wild... So people were asking, what is your opinion on the LGBT community? What is your opinion on, you know, politics? And I'm like...
This is wild. I'm trying to play a game, and people are asking me these wild, outlandish questions that have nothing to do with the game.
I'm alone. I'll be honest, guys. I started drinking, which you shouldn't do, especially when you're depressed. But I did. I started drinking, way more than a person should. At night, I was getting drunk every night. I was having some issues getting to stream some days because I was feeling so depressed over losing the relationship behind the scenes and everything, and not being able to share that with you guys. Right? Was another major thing. Really, the only people who knew about it were my parents.
Oh, by the way, the one thing that I forgot to mention, all right? The one thing I forgot to mention was when my ex-girlfriend had a situation at work where she had a panic attack and I had to leave a stream and rush to the hospital, all right? That had happened. We had already broken up. And she was already in the process of moving out of the house and everything when that happened, all right? And so for me, I was kind of like in a messed up mindset where, you know, oh no, I had to leave in the middle of a stream and people wanted to know what the hell it was a family emergency, and I told people what happened. And some people took that the wrong way. Oh my God, Phil's telling people about his girlfriend's private business and all of that, all right? At that point, there was already so much fucked up stuff. I'm not gonna get into it because there's some real fucked up stuff that happened between me and her before that day that had really gotten to me, all right? And basically, there was some very hurtful things that had happened to me, and I wasn't in the right mindset. And no, you know, in retrospect, should I have come back that day and immediately told everyone, oh, the reason that I had to leave my stream earlier today was because, you know, my girlfriend had a panic attack and had to be rushed to the hospital, and then I had to go there to help her or whatever? No, probably I shouldn't have done that, you know. At the same time, you guys didn't know she wasn't my girlfriend anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't know that. So you thought, oh, how am I mistreating my girlfriend? In reality, she wasn't. This was actually someone who I was not really on good terms with, okay? And she was in the process of moving out and everything at that point. So really hurtful stuff had happened between us recently that I was not in a good mindset in regards to her. Quite frankly, I didn't have to go to the hospital all that day. And that's why a lot of people are saying, oh, Phil, why don't you rent out your extra room? That room is still full of her shit, which she's never coming back for. She left here in a huff, taking only the stuff she wanted, all right? And left a bunch of junk for me. And that room has shelving, a desk, a ton of shit from her business, a ton of stuff that's just lying around. I'm not talking, oh, tons of sellable soap that I can sell for a profit. It's junk. It's stuff she tried to make and it failed, but she never fucking threw it out. It's ingredients, colorants, things that I'm never gonna do anything with, and I need to throw out, but I haven't had a chance because I'm working my ass off, you know? I'm here every day, work, to try to pay my bills and make ends meet because I'm by myself now. And I haven't even had a chance to clean out her office or do anything in there because I'm just too busy. And another thing that a lot of people don't understand about Washington State, like someone literally in the stream chat, just throw that shit in the dumpster. This is a green state, folks. You don't even know what that means. There's no dumpsters here. The way it works is we have a regulated trash removal. That means I have one trash can. This is not an exaggeration. I have one trash can that I'm allowed to fill and empty, have that be removed every 2 weeks. One trash can every 2 weeks. If I want to throw out more than one trash can, they charge me $50 per can. Okay?
So just imagine that room, all the shit in that room. That's probably 3, 4, 5 cans worth of shit there. If I were to empty out that room and throw it out, I'd be like $300, which I don't have, right? I'm already struggling to pay my bills to make ends meet. I don't have $300 to throw away this shit. So I'm getting tons and tons of this shit in the mail, okay? It's one thing if it's like one piece a week. No, my mailbox is full after like 3 or 4 days with this amount of junk mail. While this is happening, I start getting tweets, I start getting YouTube comments, and I start getting emails saying,
Phil, your days are done. We know that you've been committing tax fraud, and we are going to get you. Ha ha ha.
I'm like, well,
So once again,
trolls.
right? Even with everything going on, they knew how messed up my life had been. They knew that I'd broken up my 5-year relationship. That's not good enough. Phil's life isn't ruined yet. He's not dead. So we gotta keep going. Let's just keep fucking going. Let's try to get him on every possible thing we can.
Soup Double G did a 13-bit cheer and this stupid message I'm not going to read.
Jazora says, have I considered DSP tries it live? Why would I want to eat a full meal in front of you guys on camera, on stream? The way DSP tries it works is I film real quick before I eat, and I actually eat my dinner on my dining room table. Why would I want to do that up here in my office? No, I don't want to get food and shit in my office, so no, I wouldn't consider doing it live. That's kind of silly.
Rockstar did a 10-bit cheer and said something about blue balls and titty night. Okay. And Mosley at home did a 10-bit troll cheer that I'm going to ignore yet again because he could have been gone 10 times. He's still here. How does he do it? You are how I do it. Because you stick with me, you stay positive with me, you help me out when I need it, you save my butt, and I keep pushing forward because of you. So as long as you keep doing what you're doing, I'll keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm not going anywhere. Sounds good?